All right, no mountains today. Just out for a walk on the prairie. It's just 4 miles away from my house, so this is a great place to come just to get a little exercise in. However, I've managed to set some targets out here too. So even though it's just kind of the pretty gentle, easygoing, close to home walk, when most of my big outings, like especially this summer, are going to be climbing 2, 3, 4,000 vertical feet and making huge leaps in my fitness, it still translates out here, and what I do out here can still translate out there. And so, I do loosely keep track of time, and every now and then, not that often, I will see how fast I can get around this loop, which is about 1.5 miles, probably only 150 feet of elevation change. So it's pretty easy, but David Roche, who's one of my idols for sure. He's a kind of world champion ultra runner who runs 100-mile races. He's all about the faster you go in the horizontal plane, the faster you'll be able to go in the vertical plane. So a lot of people get too caught up in doing a lot of vertical, and if you're always doing vertical, you're always moving slower than you do on flat ground. It's important to get some good speed work in as well. So I do kind of run walk. I'm not able to run very long. I could probably jog continuously, but it would just be so incredibly slow. I think it's better to actually turn it into sort of intervals by running fast for 60 to 90 seconds and then walk for a couple minutes until I feel like my breath is fully recovered, and then repeat. And I see how fast I can go around this loop. 1.5 miles, like I said. I did it my fastest ever 12 days ago, 23:34, I believe. So shooting to come, shave another 10 or 15 seconds off of that today would be great. And, like many things that I have sort of a structured progression for how I'm performing in certain things. So that's rowing, that's cycling 1 mile. By the way, it's 500 meters in the row. So really testing speed first and foremost, and training for speed. I feel like so many people, especially overweight people, they feel like the longer they exercise, the more calories they burn, the better. And very quickly, once they've run a mile, they want to do a 5K. Once they do a 5K, they want to do a 10K. Once they do a 10K, they want to do a half marathon. And that's all well and good, but really speed is where it's at. That's really what separates somebody who's super fit from somebody who is not. Endurance is easy to get. It's easy to come by. You can, pop a bunch of these gels, slam the carbs, and practically provide yourself with with endurance that you didn't even really work very hard to earn. So endurance is easy to come by. And, having good endurance is important. It's one of the aspects of fitness, but speed's where it's at. And so speed goals for 500-meter row, speed goals for 1 mile on the exercise bike, just stationary bike, how fast I can do a mile. The most important one to me is how many stairs I can climb on the stair mill in 30 minutes. My primary goal is to be able to go out into the big mountains, do cool shit, be able to just grind out a really, really tough hike with thousands of vertical feet, and not be exhausting and cramping, which I've been suffering from a lot this year so far. But yeah, it's getting a little long-winded. I apologize for that. But this is a glimpse of, kind of what I'm doing. I'm making the most of what I have, the resource that I have here. I live too far from the mountains to get out in the mountains every day. So I come and I figure out a way to make this work to get huge fitness gains from this place as well. Ones that translate to, huge mountains. You think it wouldn't, but if you push yourself a little bit, it definitely will. So that's what I'm at. Kind of warm up lap today. This is my second workout of the day. I did about an hour of kind of zone 2-ish cardio at the gym, going kind of easy today. But yeah, I'm almost halfway on the first lap, warm up lap. And then I'm going to tear into it in lap 2 and see if I can beat that 23:34. So, and I'm going to see how that progresses. I'd like to get under 23 in July, 22 and a half in August, etc., etc. I've laid out, step-by-step progression, where I want to be. I'd love to be able to come out and do, a couple laps, which is a 5K, and do that in under 30 minutes. That would be great. I think it would be a near-death experience to do it under 50 right now. So I've got a really long way to go, but it's okay. I've got nothing but time. And I'm super dedicated. I'm looking and thinking like long-term vision about everything. 47 and a half. I want to know where I'm going to be 3 years from now. 50 and a half. It may sound silly at 260 pound dude, it takes him 50 minutes to do a 5K, but I want to be doing mountain races and stuff, competing against other 50-year-olds by that time. So that's kind of like something that keeps me motivated and keeps driving me forward. Oh man, saying way too much all in one video. Got to save some for tomorrow. I'm gonna shut it off, focus on my walk here, and get ready for my big run walk lap, where I hope to set a new little personal best out here and keep my progress progressing. All right, peace.